Hello, my name is Bianca Ramirez, and today I will be presenting an evidence-based program provided by the American Lung Association called the Not on Tobacco Program, also known as the NOT program. An introduction on the NOT program. So it's provided by the American Lung Association to target teenagers who smoke ages 14 to 19. It's a 10-session total plus 4 extra boost sessions. Some of the missions include identifying reasons for smoking, healthy alternatives for tobacco use, identifying people in their lives that can help them quit smoking, stress management, and effects of smoking. And this program is provided during school hours. Some social determinants of health that affect teenagers of smoking. So there were multiple articles that suggested that rural youth have higher smoking quitting rates and start earlier than urban teenagers. Smoking also affects the social behaviors of young teenagers. The teenagers that are most affected by smoking are low income status because they fall into depression, and with their lack of education, it can also lead to slight depression, stress factors, and anxiety, which this leads to smoking being their scapegoat to get their minds off something. They also their culture also affects young teenage smokers. For example, if their parents smoke, then they're most likely that they will smoke, or if they see their peers smoking, their peer pressure, they will also begin smoking. So I included a picture of determinants of health and how these can relate to teen smokers. So in the infrastructure of the NOT program, they're key players in the development of the program. So the American Lung Association with the West Virginia State Health and the CDC developed this program, and also the Coalition for Tobacco-Free West Virginia was involved in the development of the program. So there was a model during the in the West Virginia University Centers for Public Health Research and Training. And once this model proved to be effective, then later it was integrated in the American Lung Association. It's a cost-effective plan to reduce teenagers from smoking, and then the cost-effective analysis was made through American Lung Association, and which was proved to be a cost-effective intervention. So some of the external stakeholders that can be said for the NOT program are tobacco companies, schools, young teenagers of Hispanic, Native American, they were Native American and African American. Tobacco companies are an example of external stakeholders because they could be highly affected by the NOT intervention program. Since according to the study the NOT program has responded to be effective, the consumption of tobacco would decrease. Schools can also be an example of an external stakeholder because less students smoking will make it easier to become a smoke-free campus. And then, so Native Americans, Hispanics, and African American teenage smokers are also external stakeholders because the tobacco companies purposely target these racial ethnic groups. So, continuing to the community resources. So, as I mentioned before, the model that was first used in West Virginia. So the model was used through the re-aim model. So the re-aim model was the one that evaluated the NOT program, which proved to be effective. So the re-aim model is reach, efficacy, adoption, implementation, and maintenance. So these are different community sources that help develop the program. So community-based participation helped the NOT program be disseminated throughout different schools. So in the funding, it was initially funded by the Department of Health and Human Services through the CDC and West Virginia State Health. The grant provided for the study in West Virginia was the West Virginia Bureau for Public Health Division of Tobacco Prevention. So we see that funding was provided through federal, state, and local funding. And then so yeah, pretty much this is the general funding for the program. So some political and ethic concerns that arise from this program can be that parents can be opposed of their children attending the NOT program during school hours. They may not want their children to be doing this program instead of maybe learning something else during school hours. And then this program can also be a threat to a young teenager's social life because if their peers see that they're no longer smokers, then they may not want to hang out with them anymore. And then also, according to the description of the program, the groups of the NOT program are gender specified group, and therefore it may affect transgender teen smokers. They may not be comfortable identifying themselves as male or female, so that may create ethical issues. And then another ethical concern is after youth smokers do quit smoking, they may pick up another vice, which can include smoking marijuana or even heavier drugs such as heroin or cocaine. And then another ethical concern is the reasons for tobacco companies targeting lower socioeconomic population. Why do they have to do that? And so that can is it wrong? Is it right for them to do that? So that also raises ethical concerns. And so essentially the main opponent of this NOT program are the tobacco companies because they don't want their tobacco consumption to go down. So social, economic, and political factors contributed to the needs of an NOT program. So the social aspect is that in the last years there has been an increase in youth smokers. And so according to the CDC, youth tobacco usage is linked to mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, and stress, as I mentioned a little bit before. The NOT program was created for facilitators to teach classes in their small groups on stress management, dealing with their peer pressure and health, and also healthy lifestyle skills. An economic factor that has created the need for the NOT is the youth mostly affected by smoking have low socioeconomic statuses. By offering the NOT program for free, it can help teenagers from their health issues caused by smoking so they don't have to worry about getting help with it being a large cost. A way to increase the prevention of tobacco usage would be to increase the taxes on tobacco products. Another reason that the economic factors influence the NOT program is that tobacco companies spend a lot of money marketing and advertising their tobacco products. This type of money should be used in other intervention programs, and then the tobacco companies are causing the problem to the cause instead of being the solution to end tobacco usage in teens. And then a political factor affecting the NOT program could be that they no longer want the American Lung Association to provide the program throughout the states. This may be due to some states having higher effective rates than others. So pretty much the political factor will mostly be the questioning the cost effectiveness of the program, and that could be in jeopardy. So the delivery of the NOT program. So the NOT program can be marketed and advertised through flyers given to students um, to take back home. The flyer should mention that the NOT program is free, given by the American Lung Association, and they should also mention that it's conducted during school hours, so students won't have to stay longer after school. During the events such as back to school night, teachers can explain the advantages of students who smoke and students who smoke can benefit from the NOT program. This way, the intervention can be seen as a positive intervention rather it be a negative to be a part of the program. And then parents who like to be involved in their children's life can know the intervention program that they are a part of in order to help with their smoking addiction. And then one of the articles mentioned that 26 that the NOT program had 26% quitting rate after completing it. So students who began and finished the whole 10 sessions of the NOT program, 26% of the group quit smoking. Some short and long-term effects. So some short-term effects is that 1/6 of the participants quit smoking, and another short-term effect that can be said is that when the teens smoke less or do not smoke at all, it creates a healthier and cleaner environment at school and at home. Some long-term effects of the NOT program. So one negative long-term effect can be that the teenager can relapse again into smoking because of ongoing outside problems. And then, as mentioned before, instead of smoking tobacco, they can start smoking other drugs. And then for those who do stop smoking completely, they will be able to have a healthier living style, and then prolong their lifespan as well. So the main points for the NOT program is that it's a free intervention program for teen smokers. This program is taught through teenage-friendly language so that the teenagers can understand and feel that it is meant for them. The program targets the proper audience, being the young teenage smokers. Therefore, the teenagers will feel like someone else understands what they are going through and have the correct measurements to get them through. So their facilitators will also be former smokers as well. Having this program in a smaller group is beneficial because the teens can get to know each other better and help each other out. When it is a smaller group, people tend to become more comfortable with each other and open up more. So typically the groups will be from 10 to 12 teenagers. And then, as I mentioned a little bit in the beginning, this session does include 4 optional booster sessions, and I feel like this is beneficial because for those teenagers who need a little bit of more help and a few more sessions, then the American Lung Association provides these extra sessions as well. And it will meet their needs of the young teenagers. And then many states already implement the NOT program. One of it being already West Virginia, since it started from there, Florida, and many other states. And then it is important that the program needs to be implemented in more schools and in different states. And then the scalability of the program is like I said, is to promote it in different schools and states that do not have it. And my last slide is my references. So thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you learned a little bit more about the NOT program, the benefits, and how it is good for the teens.